Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Redefined. I'm here with Vicky and Thurman Ragsdale with ERA, Newlin and Company. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So we've got lots to talk about today. But first off, we should probably just say Happy Veterans Day
Yes.
to everybody, right?
Yep.
It's a big day.
Right.
Special day. Lots going on, too. All sorts of stuff out there. But we're mainly here to talk about real estate and you guys.
Yeah.
So before we get into the hard-hitting stuff, right? Tell me a little bit about you, Vicky. How'd you get into this?
Well, real estate here in San Angelo, how I got into that. I was in real estate in Austin before we moved here. We moved here 3 years ago because our only daughter had our first grandbaby. And so now we're about to see our third grandbaby.
Fun.
And that's mainly why we moved here and started doing real estate. I was supposed to be in partners with my daughter at ERA, and I think that lasted about a month when she decided she's going to stay home with the babies. So
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. And you get drug along, right?
Well,
Without
I got
any
so
choice.
I've been in the car. I was in the car business for 20 years. I was a sales manager for a long time, and moved here and started working with a great company here, Jim Bass. They were fantastic, best dealership in town. Worked with them for 2.5, almost 3 years, and then Vicky's been doing well enough to where I could make the jump,
Awesome.
and go ahead and spend time with the grandkids, but also do this. And believe it or not, real estate, the hours in real estate is more than what I was working in the car business. But the good thing is that when you're not working, you can burn off and do stuff that we want to do, or we can work from home, and that's a good thing, and spend time with family.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably the best of both worlds, right?
Yes.
You put in long and different hours, but you also
Right.
have the other side of it, too.
Right.
you know,
Absolutely.
where you can
he finally
spend
found
that
out how much I really do work.
There you go. Well, I want to talk about something that's really interesting to me because we were talking about it earlier, and I had never heard of this and didn't know about it. And it's something that kind of separates you guys from the rest of the pack, right? And it's an app that you guys use.
There's a few others that use it, but there's very few
Okay.
realtors that use it around
So let's
here.
talk about the app that you use. What's the name of the app?
It's the Naviga app. And the
Naviga,
ones
okay.
that the clients will actually use is called the Naviga Client app. And I usually share it with the clients or potential clients that I run into, but you can also download it in your app store, the Naviga Client app, but you'll need a code. So what I want to do is post my code here on this live website, and we can also give it out, during this as well. I also have a scan for my app on the back of my cards. So anybody that takes a picture of that, it'll take them directly to my app link, and then they'll just have to download the code. So.
Awesome. Okay. And I'm actually, if I can get Jeff over here for a second, I have this code.
Oh, cool.
So what I'll have you do is I'll have Jeff put this in the comments.
Okay, great.
So everybody will be able to see that code, and they can use that when they go
Perfect.
and download the app.
Okay.
So one of the things that we were talking about with this app and that makes it so beneficial, right, to the client is how fast it is and how quickly it's updated.
Right. It's up to the minute stuff as far as what's for sale in San Angelo and what's on the market. Actually, the internet apps that everybody typically tries to use or go to, like Zillow.com or Realtor.com, feeds from our Naviga app. So that's where everybody runs into the problem is they'll look at houses on Zillow.com that they really like and they want to go see, and then when they call a realtor to take them to go see it, that house is sold. And they didn't know it was sold because Zillow is not as up to the minute as a Naviga app because everything feeds from Naviga. So if you have a link to Naviga, you have where it's coming from. So
Right.
up to the minute
Gotcha.
resource.
Yeah, so you could be, if you're on a different site looking at a house, and that house could have been sold hours ago.
Or years ago.
Years
Maybe.
ago.
Yeah, no. And there's also a lot of stuff put on Zillow that sometimes is not, even, like rent houses or something that are scams, stuff like that. So you want to be careful
Really?
of stuff like that. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff taken from Zillow that people say is for rent and they're not. And
Wow. Okay, I had no idea. Yeah, I mean, it's just a normal consumer, I would have just assumed, hey, it's on there and it's available. And
That everything on the internet is true.
well, I mean, of course we believe that, right? We put most of it up there, right?
So Naviga is just the best bet to use that if you want, the facts about what's for sale here in San Angelo.
Awesome. So at its base, we go down, we
Right.
download the app.
Right.
We use your code.
Right.
That we just posted there. You can see it there.
Right.
And then if we want to, say I'm browsing and I see a house. I'm
Okay.
like, man, I really want to look at that house. What do I do from there?
Well, actually, in Naviga, there is a star where you can star your favorite houses, and you can star those. And in the app, you can actually text me from the app itself, or you can text me from my cell number, which will be in the app also, and just tell me, say, hey, Vicky, we've starred a few houses, we've marked a few as our favorites, and can you set up appointments and take us to see those? So I can go in and see your favorites, set up appointments for a time to go see them. And then after you see them, you can go in and move them to your maybes, because there's a maybe folder, or you can move them to your, boo dislike folder.
So I can contact you directly.
You can.
Gotcha.
You can contact me directly in the app. If you download using my code, when you're in the app, you can actually go to, there's a little tab called My Agent, and you can click on that, and you'll see a picture of me, my phone number, my contact information. You can call me and contact me directly.
Because that's something else that we were talking about. If you were using a different site, sometimes you just get assigned a realtor.
Right. We're actually working with a couple right now that happened to, and they ended up very disappointed. But that's right. When you go to Zillow and you find a house you like and you click on it, Zillow also assigns you a realtor to call and a lending person to call. So, and that's not something you just want the internet assigning to you. That's something that you need to pick yourself. That's a very, it's an important person to hire, to find you a house. So you need references and talk to them and make sure that you can work well with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to kind of get off the topic we were talking about with the app, but that aside, how do you go about doing that? As say you've never bought a house before, say a first-time home buyer, right? And you're like, man, I really want a trusted lender,
right?
Other than just looking up reviews or word of mouth. Is there anything you can do, or specific things you can look for in a lender?
Well, in a lender, I would say that First, you find your realtor, and you find your realtor. I think you should ask for references. You can read the reviews, but you can also ask your realtor to give you references of people to call. I've done this several times so that they can call and talk to people that you've actually worked with, and then if they decide they like that and they come back and hire you, then I think you should trust your lender that you felt qualified to find you a home to help you find a lender.
Okay.
Because your realtor. Yeah.
Right.
So we have several lenders that we like and use and recommend to our clients. And
that's pretty typical, something you would see, right? Each realtor kind of has their lenders that they work with a lot.
Right.
Different realtors might work with.
There's a bunch of good ones in San Angelo, but I would trust your realtor that you trust to help you find a lender that works for you.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we use them we use them all the time. So when a person's buying a house, they're not buying a house every day. We're using them all the time, so we know which ones are answer their phones or hot on it, getting the best rates at the time.
Yeah.
So that's probably your best bet, other than letting a website assign you one.
Okay. Well, yeah. I was just about to say,
you don't want to do that.
Who better is there to trust other than the people that are using these lenders daily?
Right. Sure.
You're obviously going to go off their recommendation. So that's something to do. So I was also looking on here on the front of the app. It says MLS number search.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
Again, kind of the basics, but for people that don't know, explain what MLS means as far as listings go and everything like that.
Okay, so when you put a listing into the MLS, it is assigned a number, and really most of the realtors use that number, to pull up. The client's probably going to use the address, the street address,
Sure.
whatever. But the number, if you have a number, you can go in there, and it actually shows. I don't know if anybody can see this. There's a bunch of places where you can put different numbers. So that works really best for the realtor. So if I have just a bunch of houses, I'll go type that in.
Okay.
So the client probably won't be using the MLS number. They'll use the address of the home.
Gotcha. So that's probably going to be the easiest way,
Right.
for
But
them.
there is search, and another great feature that I like in the app is I like the map feature, because a lot of people will drive around and in certain areas and, oh, we like this area. So the map feature on the app is really cool, because you can hit map when you're in a certain area, and it's going to pull up everything that's available in that area that you're sitting in.
Oh, cool.
So, or you don't actually have to be driving around. You can be on your couch and go anywhere you want to on the map, if you like a certain area, and you can pull it up and it'll highlight everything that's for sale in that area.
Well, yeah, that's a great point, because I think probably most people have a general idea of the area they want to live in.
Right.
So that helps them narrow it down rather than just scrolling through and going, man, that's not there. So yeah, that's a really good feature.
Right.
To be able to do that.
It's nice. I love the app. I think it's I think it's good to give people access to every house that's for sale in San Angelo.
Sure.
Instead of them having to go out and dig around for it or rely on the realtor to bring them what they want to go see. They can look at everything and tell me, these are the ones we want to go to. And at the same time, I help. If I see one that pops up, I will send that to them saying, check this one out. And they can immediately go to it on the app and look at the pictures. And
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also saw something else on here that is, probably good to know up front. You've got a mortgage calculator.
Yes.
So that's going to help people
Right.
not only figure out what their payment would be, but probably also help dial in where they can buy a house, or maybe neighborhoods and things like that, right?
Right. It gets really close. You have to always add in your taxes and your insurance, of course, but it gets close as far as like what your payment on the house would be versus, for what you put down and stuff like that. So your lender that you work with can also, you want to rely on them for the numbers. That's good to kind of look at. But if you've got a good lender, you can text them any time of the day, and they will immediately give you the numbers on a house you're looking at.
So would you say, in your opinion, the best way to go about it was maybe get pre-approved before you start looking,
Yes.
start looking, and then go that way? What do you recommend doing?
I'm really glad you asked that. It is. I'm not going to not show somebody because they're not pre-approved yet, because a lot of them don't know that. So I'll show you. But during that process, I definitely want you to get in touch with a lender, because what I don't want happening is you find a house that you fall in love with and you can't quite get there, because that's very disappointing. So I like people to go talk to a lender, get pre-approved, so we know the price range to look at. So when they do find that house they love, they know already that they qualify for that.
Gotcha.
That makes the experience a lot nicer.
Okay. Yeah. And what are we looking at as a typical down payment when you go to buy a house? Does that change from first time you buy a house to the second time, third time?
Well, I'm not a lender, so I can't answer a lot of those questions, but 3.5 for like FHA loans is a down payment. But there's also programs, though. I don't want to scare people and that can't do that, because I just recently learned of a program that one of my buyers is using. It's called, and again, I'm not a lender, so I don't know, but it's FHA bonded, and so they're being helped with their 3.5 down. So again, that's the lender has all kinds of ways, depending on your income and stuff, where they can put you that'll work for you. So that's another thing that Thurman was talking about that he wanted to talk about, is people not being scared of, talking to a lender, because a lot of people think that they don't qualify or they can't qualify, and it's really a lot easier than people think.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to buy a car than it is to buy a house, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. Well, house appreciates and sits in one spot. A car does not. It depreciates. Yeah, absolutely. So people that think that they can't get approved on a $30,000 car might be able to get approved on a $180,000 home or $200,000 home. It just depends. You have to find out, though. It's you can speculate and hope maybe I might be able to buy this, but if you go see your lender, they'll get you pre-approved. Especially some of the ones we use will get you pre-approved that afternoon, and then you can go look, and with some confidence, anyways.
Right.
And it's a real easy process. It's not it's not hard.
Yeah, and if you go talk to a lender and you do have a few, hiccups in your background, they'll help you, tell you what you need to work through and say, I've got one guy, he's been working for a while and he's about, I would say about 4 months away before he's ready. But he's worked really hard and what the lenders told him to do, and so he's about to be able to buy a house. So even if you can't right then, they'll tell you, okay, in approximately this many months you'll be able to qualify.
Okay, I was just about to ask. So you may go to a lender and they say, well, right now you're not able to, but hey, here's kind of a guideline. Or
they don't just shut the door and blow you off. They'll say, here's what you need to do to get to where you want to. Or if you only qualify for a certain amount and you're like, no, we really wanted a house, the 250 range, or a little bit more, then they'll kind of tell you, well, this is what you need to do, and this is how, if you ever get here, this can happen. So,
but I think that might be why a lot of people are not really scared, but they might be turned away because they're like, man, I don't know, I don't really know how to go about it. Go down and just ask them, hey, what kind of house can I buy?
Right.
And essentially, that's all you need to ask, right? Is, hey, what can I afford?
And they can usually do that within minutes. Sometimes. It's definitely not a long process to get pre-approved.
Right.
So well, I lost my train of thought. Forgot what I was going to say.
But that's okay. So,
okay.
That happens.
It being Veterans Day, just so you know, it being Veterans Day is good reason to bring up that VA loans, you might not have to put anything down.
Well,
okay.
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
wow. So there's all different types of programs out
all
there.
sorts of programs out there.
So yeah, you literally may not have to put a down payment down at all.
And that's another thing I wanted to mention. I forgot. Speaking of VA loans, Thurman and I, the Ragsdale team, we give military discounts. Thurman's a Marine. I used to say ex-Marine, but he's like, no, once a Marine, always a Marine.
Always a Marine, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, by the way.
Marine Corps birthday, 244 years old yesterday, November 10th.
His birthday tomorrow, almost as old, but
yeah.
Anyway,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm turning 50, so there you go.
Oh, that's good. So I'm going to pull this up again, just so we can show it. This is the Naviga client app. So if you go to download this, make sure you download the client app. And then we can get on, and you can use the code that we posted. You can see it right there in the Facebook chat. And that'll take them right to you guys, correct?
Right, it will.
And so if you're not even in the market right now, you should download this app.
Right.
Because eventually you will be.
Yeah.
And there's things that you can do on this app. So you can look in your neighborhood, see what houses, like if you're thinking of selling, you can look at the houses in your neighborhood that are selling or getting ready to. You can look at them and see how they're spec'd out. And if it's close to your house, you can see what the houses are going for, and you can figure out what you need to do. So that's valuable information if you're thinking of listing your house before you ever talk to a realtor.
Gotcha.
Right.
And then even if you're not thinking of selling right now, get on her app, text her, and she'll help you through the process, whether you're buying now or a year from now.
And that's another thing. We were just talking about this the other day, and I wanted to ask y'all when you were here. Property values, yearly, you kind of see them go up and down. Does it make sense to wait and see if houses are going to go lower, or
it depends on if you're a buyer or a seller?
Right. Yeah, that's fair. Let's say you're a buyer, right?
Okay.
And let's just say I come to you and I want to buy a house, and you say, hey, this house is listed right now. It's probably not going to be there when you want it, but do you often advise people to wait and kind of watch the price? Or
well, I really can't, because what I tell a lot of my clients is I wish I had a crystal ball, because I don't have any way of telling that. If I did, I probably wouldn't be selling real estate. I would be a millionaire somewhere, because if I had a way to tell if something was going to go, up or down in the market, I don't.
Yeah.
And the minute I say houses are going so quick, you need to grab this one's going to go fast, inevitably every time, that house sits there for months, and they're like, and I'm sure they're thinking, I thought Vicky said the house is just going to fly. I know. So I try not to do that, because there's just really no way to predict.
Right.
We've watched, she's done a lot of business in Southland and Baker Ranch
area.
Ridge and over in that area. And we've watched that go from a year ago at $126 a square foot all the way topping out to $138. She's helped raise that ceiling. Just push the envelope, pushing the envelope.
Yeah, there's been houses over there that we can't even get in the MLS before they're sold. Wow. And then, I've got one that's now, and it's one of the listings I wanted to feature today. It's been, it's great house, big, huge home. You just can't tell when they're going to go,
Right.
But I can say that, and then tomorrow have three offers on it. So there's no way of telling whether it's going to.
Right. So basically, just go get pre-approved and go find a house
Mainly
you
get
like,
pre-approved
right?
and not like love. I mean, you know,
Right.
get pre-approved. The minute you fall in love with something, that's when you know. And you go. I tell my clients, if you look at a house and you go home and you can't stop thinking about that house, that's how you know. You don't, that's probably the one for you.
Right. Well, we'll put you on the spot here. What are a couple lenders, or who are a couple lenders y'all work with that we should recommend?
That is putting us on the spot.
I'll say Valerie.
Valerie.
Priest, yes.
Valerie Priest, she's a good one. Levi Calhoun with
Absolutely.
Gateway has been really. Oh no, he's not with Gateway anymore. But I'll give a
leader
Gateway
one.
plug
He's
because they're
leader
good
one.
there too.
Just why not?
He's leader one. Yeah. So, but I mean, they're all good. I don't mind mentioning all the good ones. You know, you do. You know.
Sure, absolutely.
Kind of-
Well, and like we were saying, I mean, who better to take their word for it than the ones that work with them every single day?
Right.
And
right.
we have skin in the game because we want the process to go smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As smooth as
absolutely.
possible.
Right,
So
that's-
we're not going to pick somebody that's going to not answer phone calls, not take care of their business, not do the paperwork right.
Right.
You know, you don't want any surprises at closing.
I can't say that I'm a little spoiled. I like my lenders the lenders I use. They text me back right away, no matter what time of the day it is or what day of the week it is, and that's what I like. So
That's phenomenal.
Well, because if you get a client on the weekend on a Sunday that needs to be pre-approved, you know, they don't want to wait till Monday. You know, they might,
Right.
You know, so they're pretty Johnny on the spot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got a lot more questions, but we're gonna have to hold them because I want to show some listings
Okay.
that you guys have.
All right.
So let's talk about it. What listings do we have?
One in Pauline right now. It's a 5-bedroom in Pauline, and then I have another one over in the Baker Ranch area that I was talking about. I have that beautiful, huge. It's over 2,000 square feet home in Baker Ranch. And I actually have lived in Baker Ranch. Love, love, love that whole area over there. This particular home, I'll give a shout out to a builder. This is a Sierra Vista, Danny Aguero.
Danny Aguero. Yeah.
Build, and I love
trying to take,
his homes. We actually bought another one of his homes
I
over
was trying
there.
to take your screen. Do you have them up?
Ah,
on your
I do.
screen? Okay. I couldn't see it on mine. Can I find this on the ERA's website?
Absolutely.
Listings? Okay.
Yes.
Show me how to find them, and that way I can pull them up over here for you.
Okay, so if you just click right there, if you scroll down a little bit, oh, where are you? Right there they are. They're the top two right there.
These two
yes,
are the
yes.
current ones.
I
Okay.
pulled those up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wanna
So
make sure
if
we're on
you
the right
click in, those are our top two featured listings today. Thurman and I have talked about coming back on Friday and doing a happy hour with the Ragsdales on Friday and featuring a couple of our listings. So we're going to try to do
and
that.
a couple single barrel bourbon, small batch.
See, now we're talking. I can do this.
We'll have a drink of the week and a house of the week to go with it.
There you go. Okay, so I've got this one pulled up. So tell me a little more about this.
This is a house. This is our 5-bedroom listing in Pauline. Really nice house, 5 bedrooms. So if you've got a lot of kids, you can have a room for every kid. I like the circled driveway here in Pauline because in Pauline, you do have a lot of larger families. So you get the teenagers that have the cars and stuff, and you'll
Sure.
see, But with the circled driveway, you don't have a problem with the parking. So that's good there. This house is really well maintained inside. If you want to go see it, let me know. I can take you just to view that. Nice large front patio.
Yeah,
So,
that's really pretty.
Yeah, great house.
See if we can show
in
the inside
Pauline.
here.
Yeah,
And this one's 5-bedroom.
5 bedrooms.
5 bed, 2
5
bath.
bedrooms. Yeah,
1,700 square feet.
it's 2.5 bath.
2.5.
Yeah, you actually have. There's 2 bedrooms that have a little Jack and Jill half bath between them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Awesome. Yeah, that's really pretty.
great
I like the high
house.
ceilings too.
And Pauline's a really good area.
A lot of military, a lot of first responder.
A lot of first time home buyers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
See
And
if we can go back and show the other one here.
that's the house in Baker Ranch that I was talking about.
Okay. In
3
this
bedroom.
one, 3
And-
bed.
Yeah, and if you will, click to the picture of if you click through the pictures, if you click to the picture of the living room in this one, you're going to see, look at the
that
ceiling.
ceiling.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
ceiling.
cool is that?
Isn't that beautiful?
That is
So
awesome.
this is, like I said, this is Sierra Vista Home in the Baker Ranch area. They're going to be building a lot more out in that area too. I noticed they're expanding the road out there. So
Wow.
This
yeah,
has a
that's
nice
just
sized
gorgeous.
kitchen, big open
Nice
floor
open
plan.
floor plan,
It's
yeah.
what we like. That's the
Yeah.
we have a Sierra Vista home as well.
yeah,
Okay.
God, we've plugged him enough today, haven't we?
Yeah.
Hey, that's what it's for, right?
Well, it's just we like that build.
Yeah, man, that is
Isn't that beautiful?
cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That is really neat.
Large bedrooms here. Got a really large master.
There's the nice
Open, yeah.
floor plan you
It's
were
wonderful.
talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah, nice big kitchen too.
right.
Yeah.
And the countertops, those are really pretty countertops.
Pretty granite. Yeah, I like that.
Is awesome. Well, we unfortunately are out of time.
Can I say one more thing? And this is probably the most important thing I have to say today.
Sure.
All right. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. Just so you know.
How did I know that was going to come out? Oh man, that is too good. So look, before we leave, Vicky Thurman, thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming
Appreciate
on.
it.
Real Estate Redefined, guys. Go and download the Naviga client app. I'm gonna show you one more time. Go and download this, and like Thurman said, even if you're not in the market, go download it right now. So you have it here ready.
I'll post my code again. We'll keep the code going.
Yeah.
Everybody will need that code to get in. I want to give a shout out to Irene sitting out here. Came to see us.
We got
Came
a
to see the
fan.
live.
We got fans out there watching live. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then
right.
we're gonna look forward for Friday too.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll have a
Happy
featured
hour.
cocktail. All
There
right.
you go. That'll work.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll be back Friday with Vicky and Thurman.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.